In this video, we're going to create a simple 3D house. But first, we need to set the layers we're going to use later. Here, we're going to create layers for the walls, the door, windows, and roof. For the colors, you can follow what the color I designated, or you can set your own color. So now we're going to plot the floor plan with the given dimension. You can start anywhere in your drawing area. You can create this floor plan or the designated dimension in any process you would like. Okay, so for this one, you have two options. You have two options or two strategies to choose from to create the walls. For the first part of this video, we're going to use the region before we use the command extrude. Here, going to use region. Okay. So let's proceed to the next page. Okay. After commanding region and getting 3 loops, we're going to set the visual style or the view control to southwest isometric. Just use the view tool. So it will be the same orientation as like the one in the module. Then we're going to extrude all of this with the height of 2.7. Select all. Okay. So type in 2.7 as the height. Okay. Now because this is 2D wireframe or the visual style is in 2D wireframe, you can see that the lines intersect or this object is inside the larger box. So to verify if this is the correct style or the correct output is we change the visual style to hidden. And because we use the extrude command, this larger object and the two smaller objects are all located in the same place. So it means that the larger box is also in the location of this object. So what we need to do is we need to subtract the smaller objects to the larger box. So command is subtract. Now, after commanding subtract, you can see that the walls are now present. So we can use the orbit to change the orientation of your solid model. Okay. Proceeding to the next page. We are now going to create the frames and also the components we need for the doors and windows. So here we're going to create, to plot the door frame. The door frame out is the one we need to subtract in our original wall. So this object will be considered your wall, so you can change the layer here. So let's use the walls. Okay. The door frame or the frame out will be the one to be subtracted in your wall. And then for this one, or the frame, will be the one you need to subtract in your wall. The component, the one you will be adding, or this will be a separate component for your simple house. So let's plot this first. So this one, and okay, another one. Then the frame. Okay. 1.2, 1.2. Okay. So this will be the door frame outer. This is one from the inside, and this is your window frame. Then this will be the other components. So this one, this is the same. Okay, the other one is the window. Okay, this will not, or this is not an approximate size of doors and windows. You can probably search online for the exact, or if you want to have the exact measurement or standard size for doors and windows. I just provided a sample where you can practice. This one, this is, let's change it to the doors layer, and this one is for the window layer. For the frames, we don't actually need to change this to their designated layer because this will be subtracted. Okay, so let's see, we're now going to lay this out to their location, specific location. So here, I need this to be rotated. Let's use ortho. Okay. Here, I'm going to use reference line so I can set my component in the right location. This is here. Okay. Because the visual style is hidden, you can see or you can visualize where I set that component. So we're going to change it back to 2D wireframe, or you can probably use the X-ray. Okay. So this will be the first component or the first door. Let's do this 1.9 from that one. Here. You can see I'm extending my line. This will be deleted later on. That's fine. Let's turn off the ortho. Use the okay. You can probably delete the line, the reference line after we use that, or you can probably delete that later when you're done. Okay, now for the window frames. This is just a simple, again, this is just a simple floor plan. This is just to practice your 3D knowledge. You can apply this to a more intricate design you want. I'm using my keyboard as much as possible because there's a problem with the scroll of my mouse. But it doesn't stop me from creating this object. I'm going to mirror this. Other one, another window here. This is copy. Then the paste. Okay. As I said earlier, you can delete the reference line after you've done using them, so you won't be confused, or you can delete it later. Next, what we need to do is to extrude the frames, the door frames by 2 and the window frames by 0.9. So we can use extrude, then select the doors. Or we have 2 doors for this sample. Okay, enter. Then we're going to set the height to 2 because this is the door. Next, the windows, we're going to activate the extrude command first. Select all the windows. And extrude this by 0.9. Okay. Next, we're going to move the window frames along the z-axis by 1.2. Okay, again, we're going to select all the components for our window frame. Excuse me. We can set or we can choose this endpoint as our base point. Then we're just going to use or we're just going to type in 1.2 as the displacement. Make sure that you use the ortho, or the ortho is activated when displacing your components, because it may be displaced somewhere else. That's the confusing part in solid modeling or creating 3D objects. Next, we're going to subtract the frames from the walls. Let's see first from a different visual style what it looks like. So, because you have the walls and this is a solid wall, there are components like the window frames and the door frames. These are all located on the same location for the walls. That is why we're going to subtract those components from the wall itself. I'm going to use 2D wireframe again, so I can easily select components. Let's see. So now it's now subtracted. We can use other visual style. As you can see, there are holes already. Next, we're going to lay the doors and window components to their designated height before we extrude them to their specific height. Here, go to rotate this. It's correct orientation. This will be placed on the middle part of your frame. Let's move this first. Use the midpoint. Then take the midpoint here. This. Because we have two doors, we're going to copy this. And rotate the midpoint as well. Same process for laying out the window against the window frame. Now going to copy this. If you have a different process, you can use that, or you can follow what I am doing right now. Okay. going to copy this again and then rotate it afterward. Oh. There it is. Okay, so we can, after we've set the components in their correct direction or correct location, we're now going to use Extrude to set its correct height. So here, use EXE first, select the two doors, and if you don't want to type in the height, or if you forgot the height of the door, you can just probably click the height of your frame. So it will follow the height of the frame itself. Also, as I stretch it up, you can see that the color of the door is going back to the default color, which is our 0 layer. You can change this first to the layer for doors, then use Extrude command again, select the doors, and then click the endpoint of the door frame. The result of the extrusion, the solid model, the result of the extrusion will be a solid model under the active layer. So that is why I changed the layer to doors first before extruding the door itself. Then now we're going to extrude the window. So I'll change this to window. Then use the extrude command again. Select the window component or the base for the window. After selecting all the components, press spacebar or enter. Like the one we did before, we're going to select or click on the height of our window frame. This one. Okay. Let's now see the difference. This will be under hidden or probably conceptual. This is. You won't be needing to. You won't need this to be union because this should be a separate object from the others. Let's use X-ray. Okay. So next, we're going to create the roof now. Okay, as you see this module, what we need is to create the base of the roof. The middle part has a height of 1.7. Okay, so first, I'm going to use the walls because this part is connected to the walls, not actually the roof. We're just going to create the part where the roof will be located. The walls layer is activated. I'm going to detect the midpoint here, and because my ortho is turned on, it will be snapped to the z-axis. Just type in 1.7. Then I will create this one. Going back here. Okay. Next, we're going to have this, or you can use the join command, or you can use the region command. Here, join. Next, I'm going to use extrude. For the width or for the thickness here, we're going to follow the width of the wall. So I'm just going to select this endpoint. Okay. This is similar to this part, so I can make a copy. Okay, I'll use the other endpoint. Have it here. Next, we're going to unite the walls, the original walls, to the triangular objects we've created. Okay, so now it's one full object. Next, we're going to create the roof. So here, if we want to create a rectangular object from this endpoint to this one, if you do not modify your UCS, what you can or what you will create is something like this. Right? Because this one I have my dynamic UCS turned on, it will follow the angle or the face of the object I'm creating. So this one, it detected this face, so that's fine. Or let's do that again. If your dynamic UPS is not turned on, the result will be something like this. Okay. So the rectangle you created is parallel to your XY plane. This is where you need to modify your UCS. UCS 3 points. So here I'm going to detect this part. So this one. Before I create my roof or the frame of the roof. So this one I'll change the layer. Correct. So that's it. But it's very easy, or it's easier just if your dynamic UCS is turned on. Okay. Next, we need to extrude this rectangle to an extrusion height of 0.15. So PLC 0.15. Okay. Did it extrude the correct way? Let's see. Oh no, it did not. So I'll undo. Use extrude again. Select the object and pull it upward so it will create a positive extrusion 0.15. Okay. So now extruded on the right direction. Afterwards, we need to copy the solid roof. Point 3 upward and point 3 downward. Then perform the union for the 3 solid objects created. So, we're going to copy this. Copy. Have this as our base. Point 3 upward. Then another 1.3 downward. Okay. Then perform union. U and I. Like this. Like this. And the last one. Enter. And also another copy is from left to right. Left and right rather. Copy. This one, 0.3. And another one, 0.3. Okay. So, perform union again. Oh. This one. So, I'll use UCS. As you can see, if you orbit your solid model, this will be considered the roof. And now we're going to have this mirrored because the roof is also located on the other side. So copy or mirror, the mirror command, detect the midpoint. So detecting the midpoint, we're going to use the back end. No. This is what it looks like. What is needed right now is to slice the excess parts of the roof frame or the roof. So we're going to use the slice command. First, what do we need to slice? If we slice this excess, we need to use 3 points, and the 3 points are within this object. L1 enter, use 3 points, detect this end, this end, and this end. Then specify desired side. I'm going to choose this one. So let's see. Okay. Next, we're going to slice this part of our roof. Then we're going to use this the points from the other side. 3D. Okay, this one. That's it. Now we can use union. Unite the two parts of the roof. And there it is. You have your simple floor plan. Or you have your simple 3D house already. It has its components, the roof, the walls, the doors, and the windows.